is Lucy and welcome to another reading vlog. I have not had a great reading time really. So I've had so many DNFs. I kept picking up books, trying them. I just wasn't enjoying them. And it was really disappointing and I just ended up getting into a reading slump. I've only had one new favourite read this year, which was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And that's still stuck with me and I really did love that book. And I also did enjoy Graceland, but it's not a new absolute favourite. So I haven't had many great reads this year and I was really disappointed with the third book in the Blood and Ash series. So I really enjoyed From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, but the third book, The Crown of Gilded Bones, was one of my most anticipated releases and I was really disappointed. So I have not had a good reading year. But then I discovered a box of stories, which is a surprise subscription box, and you get sent 4 surprise books from different genres you can choose. So I chose the young adult box because there was a fantasy and sci-fi box, but I don't like sci-fi very much, so I didn't pick that one. But I picked the YA box because I used to love reading YA and I would just go to the library and that's what I would really pick up. And there are so many books that I haven't read, and with the situation at the moment, I just haven't been able to go to the library or the bookshop in a long time. And a lot of the books I'm seeing online are a lot of the same ones. And a lot of the popular books I'm just not enjoying. So I really just didn't feel interested in any book and I just couldn't decide what to read. So I took a break from reading. And then I got this A Box of Stories box, and I will link my unboxing and try chapter video for that down below. I do also have a referral link for £4 off and I get £4 off too, so if you're interested, definitely check that out. I would really highly recommend them and I absolutely loved my box and I'm planning on doing more unboxing and try chapter videos for those. So I would really recommend it and I got some really interesting books in that box. So in this vlog I think I am going to pick up 2 of the books that I got in that box and I'm so excited. They're 2 books I had never heard of before, but I'm really interested in them and I feel like they're just going to be hopefully quick and easy reads and really interesting. So I'm so excited and I'm really glad that I decided to try it because there are some books I've still got to read on my shelves, but I'm just not really feeling like picking them up and everything I'm trying I'm just not enjoying. So to find 2 new books that I hadn't heard of and that sound interesting, and so far I seem to like the writing style and I feel like they're going to be quick reads, which is really what I need and what I'm looking for. So I'm hoping that I will really enjoy these books. So the 2 books that I'm going to pick up are Prudence by Gail Carriger and Maggot Moon by Sally Gardner. So I got both of these books in my A Box of Stories box and I'm so excited. So Prudence is, from what I can gather, I think it's about this girl who is in an upper caste family and I think she's a werewolf. And she goes to India and things happened. So I'm really interested in trying this book. And when I was looking on the back, I did see that this is the author who wrote Etiquette and Espionage, which I never read, but I know that that was a really big series before. So I'm hoping that I will like this. And the bit I did read seemed really interesting. And it reminded me of one of my favourite programmes that I used to watch, which was Wolf Blood, which was this children's programme about a group of teenagers, and some of them were basically werewolves and they had human friends and they were going to school and it was all about them growing up, trying to keep their secret, and like there's so many things that were happening in it and I really did enjoy that show. So this reminds me of that and I hope that I'm going to love it. So I'm going to be picking this one up, I think. And then I also want to pick up Maggot Moon. So let me take this out. And yes, this came in a case and a hardcover. And the cover is really pretty. I quite like it. It's so different. And also, it's signed. So amazing. So these are 2 of the books out of the 4 that I got in the box and I was really happy with 3 of the books. One of them is just not for me, but I was really happy with the 3 other ones and I think it's really well worth the price. So with the £4 off link that I have, you can get this YA box is usually £20, but it would be £16, and the other boxes, some of them are £15, so they will be like £11 with the discount, I think. So I would really recommend checking it out. But yes, this is the other book I'm going to read and I don't really know what it's about. It seems to be about a young boy who hasn't been treated very well by teachers and he has a best friend who has gone missing. And I assume there's something about the moon in it. So we're going to see. But the chapters are really short and it's really big text, so I don't think it's going to take long to read, which will be really nice. So I'm going to hopefully pick up this one as well. So it is the next day, it is Saturday, and I just wanted to do a reading update. So I've been reading Maggot Moon and I'm actually really enjoying this book. So far we have this main character called Standish, who is a 15-year-old boy who I think may have dyslexia. He cannot read or write, but he's really good at picking up like speech. And there's a bit of a mystery going on. So people seem to just disappear and the government kind of deny their existence. And Standish's parents disappeared over a year ago and he lives with his grandpa and he is bullied, and the teacher at his school uses a cane and pulls his ears. So warning in here for child abuse and bullying as well, and violence. And there is some sort of mystery going on because these people are disappearing and there is this big wall and people have kind of ideas about what's beyond it, but we don't know exactly what. And I really like how this is written. It's really short chapters and they're each like 1 to 3 pages each. And we are following this story and finding out more as we go, which I'm really liking. And it's reminding me of Bird Box, which is a book that I really enjoyed. So I'm actually really enjoying this book and I really want to find out what's beyond the wall, what's happening. There's talk of a war that happened before, so I don't know if this is set on Earth, if it's set in the future or the past. I'm not actually sure. And I'm really intrigued to find out more and to find out why there are mice on the moon. So yes, I'm really interested in this book and I'm actually really enjoying it. So I'm really glad that I got this in my book box. Hello, so it's a bit later and I just finished Maggot Moon. Whew, this was a hard read. Okay, so basically this is like an alternative historical fiction. It's set in 1956 and it seems to be if the Nazis had won the war. And there is stuff happening. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil the story. I think it's good to find out as you read. And I'm actually surprised that I didn't work some of this out. But yeah, it's a hard read. It's emotional. There is a lot of death and violence and it is a hard read. So just be aware of that. There is also, unfortunately, there was a homophobic slur in this, which I was really disappointed to see, so that really disappointed me. And if you're looking for an upbeat read, this is definitely not it. But it was a fast read, and I read most of it in one day. It was kind of like one of those books that you would read at school, it felt like to me. So something where it has kind of a deeper meaning to it, but it's more like kind of like a contemporary, like it's like something happening in someone's life, rather than a lot of the books that I typically read. So I'm not sure what rating I'm going to give this. At the moment I'm thinking maybe like 3.5. I think I would recommend this if you like historical fiction. But yeah, just be aware of the language used, and there is swearing in this as well. And yeah, I finished a book. so I'm glad about that. So I now need to read Prudence. So I may start that in a bit, or I may start it tomorrow. I read a little bit yesterday, but I think I'm just going to start from the beginning because I didn't get too far into it and see what I think of that. Hopefully I will like that. So I have finished Prudence by Gail Carriger, and this is basically a steampunk Pride and Prejudice with vampires and werewolves. So if that sounds interesting to you, you may want to check it out. It is quite reminiscent of urban teen fantasy back in the day. I think it's from 2015. So I did quite like this at first, but then it was just way longer than it needed to be and it dragged out. So I think I'm going to give it 3 stars, maybe 2.75. We have our main character Rue, who is an upper class woman, and it's very interesting because she has 3 parents. So one is a vampire, one is a werewolf, and then her mum can like take those abilities away from them and make them human. And Rue can actually, if she touches a vampire or a werewolf, she can turn into one, which is really cool, and I think that's really interesting. So I really did like that aspect of it. We also have Prim, who is Rue's friend, who is kind of interested in men, and then we have her brother as well, and her brother really likes books. And Rue gets an airship and she goes to India, and it is quite slow. At first it's okay, and it was kind of interesting as we learn about like the werewolves and things that were happening, but then it kind of just got dragged out with the journey of going to India, and it wasn't as interesting. So it is very wordy, but I listened to the audiobook, so I would recommend going down that route if you would like to read it, and I will link that down below. Also, I do need to mention at the beginning, there is this quote that I forgot to mention before, and it says, "Private balls are so much more diverting than public ones." And that, I think that is a quote from Pride and Prejudice. It does really make me think of Pride and Prejudice. So yes, I actually did find this interesting, and although I didn't love it, I am glad that I got it in my book box and that I tried it, because I am feeling now more like reading different books, and that's really great. So I am really thankful to that book box, and I still find books about vampires and werewolves good if they are done well. So yes, I am glad that I read this. And so in this vlog I have read 2 books. So I read Maggot Moon by Sally Gardner, which I gave about 3.5 stars, and Prudence by Gail Carriger, which I gave 2.75 stars. And these are both books I got in my A Books of Stories subscription, so I will link my referral link down below if you want to get £4 off of yours. If you want to check it out, I would really recommend it. And I'm really glad that I did this, because I now do feel like reading some other books that I've been interested in. So I feel like I'm getting a bit back into reading now. I feel like I am realising that I do like the underrated books. Even though these are not like 5-star reads, I still found them interesting in different ways, and I was motivated to read them, and I read quite a bit, and that's what I'm really looking for. So I am really happy with this book box, and just so I feel more like reading again. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe if you would like to. I would love to chat with you in the comments. All of my links are down below in the description box, and I will be having more reading vlogs, so my vlog playlist is down below, and stay tuned for more vlogs in the future. Let me know what you've been up to lately, and if you've read any good books, if you have any book recommendations for me, because I would love to know. And I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye everyone!